D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I finished the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New World. Sorry I'm late on this one. I usually do these on the day of, but I got some stuff going on in my personal life, and I know you're all like, oh, excuses and everything. I just, I'm just in a funk, and so like when I just don't feel like doing anything. And then like I got my kiddos and they're all like, I want to go outside. And I'm like, oh, all right, fine, let's go outside. And then I'm like, I actually like it outside. So we're going to stay outside for a little bit longer. So I'm doing this now. I mean, it doesn't even matter. Nobody cares what I have to say, my nonsense. But as far as this episode goes, I just want to say, I don't know if I liked it. In fact, I think that from last week, this one was a step back, actually, because I have, like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't hate it. Like, I wasn't all like, this episode sucked. They did add a little bit of, identity politics in there, which I'm not against, but like this way they did, I don't know, just like, I will talk about when it gets to it and everything. I don't know. And then like, I don't know what they're trying to do here, but like with a certain reveal and everything. But I just, I just hope that it's not, something stupid, well, I mean, I don't know. Okay. So now that sorry, I was just looking at some stuff to like, I was pulling up the cast and everything, so I know who I'm talking about. Anyways, so with saying all that and my nonsense, before I get started on this breakdown, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get started on this breakdown. So it starts on this Vulcan Criminal Rehabilitation Center, and then we see T'Pring. And she's, obviously somebody that works here and everything. And it starts off with her doing the star date, and I don't know how I feel about non-Starfleet members doing this. I don't know. But at the same time, it was only this once and I didn't care enough to be upset about it. So she's talking about how like Vulcans, these are criminals or con people or whatever. And she's trying to, they're rehabilitating them kind of thing. And so she's talking about how, like, because she's so far away from Spock and their long distance relationship, that she's constantly trying to learn more. They're constantly in contact with each other, and she's lists off a bunch of different books because she's trying to learn about human sexuality to get to know Spock's human side. And he's, drinking a nice glass of wine, nice, while he talks to her. And he's like, I have not read any of those books, but I might check them out or whatnot. And he's like, thank you. I appreciate you putting in the effort, kind of thing. And so he's sitting here talking to Nurse Chapel, who's got a little boner for him and everything. And he's talking while she's talking, he's not paying any attention to her and what she has to say. And then finally, she's like, yo, you're not listening to me, rude. And he's like, I'm sorry. T'Pring has been learning about human sexuality. And she's like, Spock, are you trying to tell me that your girlfriend is taking things too fast? And I'm all like, stop it. I mean, guys aren't like that. Okay. You can't take it too fast, if you get what I'm saying, in the sexuality department. And she's like, now what do we learn from this? And he's all like, to listen to you when you're speaking. She's like, exactly. Because I'm awesome, kind of thing. I don't know if I like Nurse Chapel and everything. I don't know. And I don't remember in the original series, because I'll be honest with you, I only seen the original series once. Oh no. But I don't remember Nurse Chapel being like with like all into Spock and everything, but maybe I missed it and I just don't remember and everything. So the next thing we get dinner. And this is Dr. Aspen. Or Aspen. Anyways, and she is talking about these colonists and everything, that she's like, you'd be, surprised to, how many times I've like, I've tried to help these people, and there's, we're just out pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So it's nice to have, a Starfleet ship out this far to help out. He's like, yeah, we were more than happy to help, kind of thing. And I can't remember if anything else was said. But I think she talks to Spock about like being Vulcan. I can't remember off the top of my head, and it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So then he gets up here, and they are going through the asteroid field, this asteroid field or whatnot, and they're trying to find the pirate. I just want to say real quick, because spoiler alert, she's the bad guy. How do you not look at her and go, bad guy, bad guy? Like, got a tattoo on your face and like the earring thing, and you're wearing all black and your hair is jet black and everything. And I'm all like, you just look like a bad guy. I'm all like, yeah. Anyways, you don't look like any doctor I've seen from this timeline. Anyways, so they're going through this asteroid field because they're going to go like save these colonists or whatever. And so he runs into the doctor after she's had a little bit of a run or a workout or whatever she did. And they're in there and she's talking about him being Vulcan and human kind of thing. And she's like, I know some Vulcans in my time. And, you got to let go of the logic, what's it called, where they get rid of all their emotions and they only focus on logic and everything. And so they get back up to the bridge and they get like a signal. So they're looking for them and everything. And they get caught up in this web of these lasers, and they're like, it's like a net but made of lasers and lasers, and they're trying to they can't go through because it'll explode all the asteroids kind of thing. They can't fire at it because it'll and Ortega's, she keeps saying because it'll go kaboom and everything, and then she's like, do I have to say it again? So they concentrate on which asteroid, which little thing is giving off the most power, because that's probably the origin of it. And so he tracks it down, but then there's two of them. Okay. This one and this one. And so he's like, you got to pick one because it's shrinking. He's like, you need to pick one. And he's all like, I can. He's like, go with your gut. And he's all like, what? She's like, just pick one, Spock. Feel your insides and everything. And so he picks this one. They shoot at it, and it shuts the whole thing down. So then you see this little ship right here. And so he's in his quarters, and the doctor comes by. And so she sits down, again, looking very villainous and everything. And she starts talking about how she's known some Vulcans and everything. And I think here is where she mentioned her husband died or whatnot. But she also sits there and talks. She's like talking about how she's like, you don't need to be Vulcan. You don't need to be human. You don't need to be either. And I was like, oh, your gender studies degree is showing, Dr. Aspen. I know what this episode's about. It's gender is just a construct kind of thing. So then they're going through. Ortega gets excited because they find the colony ship or whatnot. But they see that a large portion of people have been congregated to one area, and then there's 30 life sites. So sorry. Spread out throughout the ship. And so they're all like this. Those are probably the pirates and the colonists, or the 200, I think it says, that are congregated in one area. So they're going to take a team aboard and everything. And number one, and I have to say, number one, for having Rebecca Remain on here, I don't think they use her as much as they should. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, I love Rebecca Remain. She's awesome. So I don't understand, but it's like, whatever. What do I know? And so they get up in their little fancy suits, and they teleport over to the ship. And this the ship is called the Serena Squall. And so they're looking for it, and they find this cage, and it's this thing giving off the life signatures thing. And they realize, and then these guys come on the ship, and they realize it's a trap and everything, because then all these, and he's like, stand down, because all these little piratey people come out. And hold on. And then they get attacked. She's like, battle stations. They throw a little bomb in there. He's protecting this doctor lady. She shuts down the ship and locks down the ship, not shuts it down. They're shooting, they're bang, bang and everything. And then they get in here and they take that out. And then this guy, who is an Orion, Orion, is that what they're called? The green people. I don't like this species. They're just humans with green paint on them. I mean, it doesn't even look like green skin. It just looks like green paint every time I see it. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Not enough aliens on these shows. These Star Trek shows have very little aliens, in my opinion. Everybody's a human, okay? And if they're not a human, they're very human-esque. I mean, come on. Can't we just get some prosthetics in there? Anyways, so he's like, welcome to the Serena Scroll and everything. And so then these two are just traveling through the ship. Everybody gets taken captive. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Didn't get much sleep. And the captain's getting beat up and they're like, tell us what the codes are. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you. And then he mentions, and then he tries to give him this food or something. He's like, oh, your crew must not like that. They probably have a decent cooked meal or whatever. I could cook you something up. And then this guy's all like, yeah, let him cook us something up. He gives him that look. He's like, fine, you can cook and everything. And I'm all like, what? What's going on here? Silliness. But at the same time, it's kind of Star Trek-y. So they're all like, yeah, we could use a good meal kind of thing. So they're like, oh, your time's up, chef Mount and everything. So then the nurse Chapel is going through the ship. She's trying to get through the computers, but she gets caught. These guys are like, hands up. And she takes out her little thing and she knocks him out. And then this little idiot doesn't have her gun ready and she gets taken out also. So he's giving them their food. And he's like, it's decent. And he's like, everybody else seems to like it. Okay, so it must be good. And he's like, and he's basically like, what are you going to do with us? And he's like, we're going to sell you to the Klingons. And he's all like, when Klingon deals go on, usually the people making the deal don't come out alive. And he's like, I know how to handle Klingons. And I'm like, do you? And I would have been nice to see Klingons because I feel like Discovery after season 2, we didn't see any more Klingons. Especially in the future section portion of it. And in this show, we haven't seen any Klingons. So I'm all like, oh, did they get rid of the Klingons because they really effed them up? So then they're back in the medical bay and they're talking about how they're going to take back, I think they're taking back she tells them about her husband being killed and he was Vulcan. And so then he gives her a phaser and they're going to go to the engineering room and open up the little thing so they can take back the ship. So then back here, he gets thrown back into the thing and she's all like, you're doing, and I can't remember what she calls it, but they're basically doing a mutiny. So then he gets to engineering and Chapel has taken out all these dudes because she's awesome like that. I don't know if I like Nurse Chapel. She's all like kooky and quirky. And I'm like, I don't know if I like that in you. So they take down the code, like he has the authorization code. So he takes down the lockdown. And then as he does that, she takes over the ship and she takes them captive. And she's like, ha 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 ha, I tricked you. And they go back. Here's an alien right here. Yeah. Anyways, so they go back to the bridge and everything. And she sits in her chair and she's like, let's see what this bad boy can do. Fire the lasers. And they do. And she's like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And she's like, so then she contacts to Paul. And she's all like, I do not know you. And she's like, no. But she's like, I want a prisoner of yours. And I can't remember what she calls him. But yeah, I can't remember what she calls him, but it's not Cybok and everything. So she goes because that's who it is. Sorry, I revealed it so early. But she's like, listen, you want your mans, you're gonna give me my mans. And I'm all like, oh gosh. And you remember Cybok is Spock's half brother. And she's all like, and you have to give him you have to, save Spock because you're joined together, like at the hip or at the Vulcan, hip. And so she's like, fine, I'll meet you at the rendezvous. So then these guys, they talk this lady into mutinying because they're all like, hey, you guys aren't going to survive those Klingons. They're going to take you down. And she's like, whatever. And so she shows up and she's like, all right, we'll do the transfer. And he's all like, or she's like, now transfer over, I'll kill him. And he's all like, Paul, I have to tell you something. And she's like, what do you have to tell me? And he's all like, I have not been to Pring. Why do I call her to Paul? That's weird. Anyways, to Pring. Sorry, I just thought of that. So silly. He's like, I've been cheating on you with Nurse Chapel. Dun dun dun. And she's like, clearly he's lying. And so then they make out. He's all like, she's all like, oh, I'm getting some of this Vulcan tongue lashing because I really likes him. And she's all like, huh. Well, Spock, since you've decided to do that, we are now disconnected. You are swipe right and everything. Or is it left? Yes, swipe right. And then he's all like, they're gone. And the ship's been taken back over and everything. And they get shot on by this ship, by the Serene Scrawl. And he's all like, take out the propulsion system, but gently. And she's like, yes, sir. And she fires. And she takes out a lot of more than that. Like, it's pretty hardcore. Well, not hardcore, but it's more than the Captain one. He's like, I thought I said gently. She's like, what is firing gently? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. What is firing gently? So then she's all like, you know, you think you've won, but you haven't seen the last of me. And then she teleports away and teleports on her little ship, and it goes flying away. And he's like, hey, can you guys teleport us back, because we kind of had the mutiny start a little bit too early and we took over the bridge. So they teleport them back on, and they're all back on the ship and everything. Oh, and at this point, I can't remember. I think it was this or before where he's like, army mateys, let's sail off to the seven seas. And he does this stupid little like R voice and everything. I'm like, dude, like, you're a good actor, but stop that. That's not fun. It's not funny. It's not fun. Anyways. And he's meditating, and then T'Pring comes in. And she's all like, I could tell that you were faking it. You know, I knew you weren't really cheating on me with that human. Ew. She is very hot though, but Chapel's hot too. They're both hot. They're both fit and everything. And yeah, I likes it. Anyways, but she's all like, he's like, maybe we could rekindle ourselves. And she's like, oh yeah, let's rekindle and everything. And then they do the hormone sandwich. I don't know why I call it. I heard that term one time and I was just like, I am referring to sex as hormone sandwich from now on. Like little personal information whenever I'm ready for whenever Lover Boys are ready. I tell my wife, I'm like, you want a sandwich? And she's like, no. I'm like, you know, I mean like a hormone sandwich. Anyways, so he goes talking to Nurse Chapel and he's like, I'm sorry I had to put you through that. I could tell that you were thoroughly disgusted with it. I'm sorry that I put you through that. She's like, no, it's totally fine. I get it. You saved the ship, kind of thing. So then back at this detention center, they go in and it does this little, because he's like, because he was all like, gosh, the reason he did that, he's like, I know what prisoner you're talking about. And it wasn't the name of, it wasn't the name Cybok. And I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'm trying to look it up real quick and everything. But she's all like, but he's like, I know the prisoner's real name and everything. And he's like, don't give him the prisoner kind of thing. And then he goes through and he's like, I'm sorry. That was the last one. Anyways, but they go back, they go to his Cybok cell, and he's looking out this window. And they didn't show the actor who's playing this, so I'm pretty sure they haven't cast it. I don't know if they'll have Cybok in this season, but that's where the episode ends. And if you remember, Cybok is Spock's half brother, and he was in Star Trek 4. No, 5. Sorry, 5. But yeah, I just I'm curious to see what they do with this. I mean, will they have Cybok in this? I don't know, man. It's very like whatever. Anyways, okay, that's that. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep rambling on. Sorry, I was trying to find his real name or the name that what's her face used, but I can't find it. But I don't know how I feel about them bringing in Cybok. But I'm not upset about it. I just yeah, that's my story. I just don't know how I feel about it. So there we go. I'm sorry. I'm heading off into a weird space. So I'm just gonna end it here. I liked this episode. I don't know if I like this episode. I didn't hate it. But I liked the last episode better than this one. So, you know, and I'm not giving up on the show and everything. And it's 10 times better than anything Discovery or Picard put out, because those shows suck. All right, you guys. Well, that's all I got for you guys with this one. Tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? What was your favorite part? You know, who's your favorite character on the show? All that good stuff. Tell me what you think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys next week on my breakdown and review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds and all that good stuff. You guys have a good week. Live long and prosper. Bye.